Agustin, let me know.
So, wait, I have a question. Kung magkaanak kami ng babae, masasuggest nyo, Ika ba o sa CSA?
What?
Hindi ko magbabakasyon kayo ng Feb 20. School nila, St. Paul tayo.
Ayan, St. Paul kasi. Ay, gusto ko makita yung reaction mo eh. Uy, sa atin na yun Sa atin na yun, pwede na mag-high school ang babae.
Yes.
Oo, pwede na.
St. Paul's just
Nung
there.
panahon ko, all boys pa eh. So.
Sa Lasal Green Hills, super dami ng babae ngayon. Nakakatuwa siya.
Co-ed.
Yeah, it's co-ed.
Ateneo tayo.
Kaya magkabila ang box tayo.
Ayaw niya.
Guys,
This is why you can't sit together on the same show. Mag-handover ka na. Sige, take it away, guys.
But thank you again
Thank you.
for a great show. Great week. Happy weekend to you girls, to Sean, to Reg, and to Pawi. On the show, on Play-by-Play, we've got updates from the NBA, including a tough break for Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. That hurts. Plus, the aftermath of Gilas Pilipinas' loss to Chinese Taipei in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers.
And we've got the latest scores from the Spikers turf as a new conference begins.
Tax show again on a Friday. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Lituncalo.
And here's tonight's Play-by-Play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy Lee. Victor Moves puts it on. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Bakunas rejecting Estebo for the
Check, it's a huge blow.
That was
Shocking too. After
say
the
the
All-Star
least.
break, the
Yeah.
All-Star game, KD was saying he might be the future face of the NBA. And a huge blow for the San Antonio Spurs. Star center Victor Wembanyama is officially out for the season due to a blood clot on his right shoulder. The news came hours before San Antonio took on the Phoenix Suns at home. Wemby's condition, called deep vein thrombosis, was diagnosed this week after he returned from his first All-Star game. Reports said it's almost always treated with blood-thinning medication, but that would require the player to stop participating in contact sports. Despite this huge setback, the Spurs are optimistic about the reigning Rookie of the Year's long-term health and that he'll recover by the start of next season. Before his diagnosis, though, the French Slenderman had been leading the league in blocks, tallying 3.8 rejections per game, while also putting up 24 points, 11 rebounds, close to 4 assists, and a steal per contest. The Spurs will now have to lean on their other star, De'Aaron Fox, in their push for at least a play-in spot. Here's interim coach Mitch Johnson talking about how the team will move forward without Wemby.
I think anytime you lose a player for an extended amount of time, it's something you kind of have to take a step back and wrap your head around, and it changes things. And, you know, someone of his magnitude that plays a role like him, even more so. It's the best part of the league and the hardest part, right? The Suns don't care, and the Pistons won't care tomorrow. You wake up, you got a job to do, you have, you know, whatever your schedule says. We got a game tonight at 8:30, and we got to prepare. And the people that are, you know, ready to play and participate, we have to get them as the staff ready as they can be, and hopefully the players do their job as professionals and get ready to go. And you know, there's some things over break that we focused on that we felt like we needed to improve upon, and some things that we felt like we're trending in the right direction, and we're going to continue to commit ourselves to those things.
Well, check, I'm sure you remember Chris Bosh,
Yep.
of course. If there's one person that Wemby may consult or talk to, it's Chris Bosh, which career ending also had a blood clot. But you can also take a look at other cases naman. Brandon Ingram, okay pa ulit, Oscar Thompson. But again, it's a tricky situation.
It is, and of course, I mean, we are, you know, sending out well wishes. I mean, I'd be shocked if it reaches him, but
Yeah.
we'll just say it anyway. Well wishes go out to Victor Wembanyama because no one wants to see this happen
Yes.
to an athlete.
And let's all remember, basketball is a contact
Yes.
sport. So, yeah.
So, but anyway, over to the Spurs. No Wemby, no problem, at least for now, as the Spurs beat the Phoenix Suns to start their second half of the season. De'Aaron Fox scored 11 of his 26 points in the final 3 minutes to help the Silver and Black get the 120-109 dub Swipa was simply in his bag, also tallying 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, and the same number of steals in the win. Keldon Johnson and Julian Champagne provided the additional scoring punch off the bench as they finished with 15 markers apiece. The Spurs began the night with Chris Paul surpassing Jason Kidd for solo second place in the all-time steals list. CP3 achieved the feat with 5 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first quarter by intercepting Devin Booker's pass to Bradley Beal. Royce O'Neal and Kevin Durant paced the Valley with 27 and 22 points respectively in a losing effort. The Spurs are currently 12th in the West with 24 wins and 29 losses, just a game behind the 11th seeded Suns and 3 games behind the 10th seeded Warriors. In his walk-off interview, Fox talked about what it's like playing in Texas as a Spur and coping with Wemby's absence.
It was great, man. Obviously, this is the first, kind of home game for us, but it was fantastic. I felt like the energy was fantastic, and I feel like the team was ready to play a home game as well. So I can't complain about the night we had.
Big story today, learning that Victor Wembanyama is going to be shut down for the year. How did this team compartmentalize that once you learn the news and focus on playing a game?
Well, first and foremost, obviously, that's somebody that, very down-to-earth guy. Obviously, he's been in the spotlight for a long time. So, one you just wish for him to be healthy, period. No matter if he's able to play basketball or not, you just want him to be healthy. But for us, we have to come together. Obviously, he's a very unique player, and one person isn't going to be able to maintain the production that he gave us. So we have to come together and do it together.
Well, again, get well to Wemby. He's just 21 years old. But how about we talk about a 40-year-old? Well, 40-year-olds don't usually score 40 points in an NBA game. But as we all know, 40-year-old LeBron James is always the exception. The King notched his second 40-point game after turning 40, as the Los Angeles Lakers get past the Portland Trail Blazers 110-120. A couple of weeks after becoming the oldest NBA player to drop a 40-piece, LBJ was at it again, this time at Rip City. He even had 8 straight buckets to spark a decisive 10-3 run early in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves stepped up as well with 32 markers of his own. Luka Doncic, meanwhile, sat out the game due to a lingering calf issue. Blazers starting center DeAndre Ayton was also out with a similar injury. Portland had to rely on Denny Avdia, who tallied 28 markers in a losing cause. Take a look at that move by the 40-year-old King James. The Lake Show still 5th in the West with 33 wins and 21 losses, while the Blazers stay at 13th place with 23 victories and 33 defeats. At a post-game press conference, Portland coach Chauncey Billups discussed his team's effort amid LA's scoring onslaught led by that man, LeBron James.
I thought our effort was, we played hard the whole time. I didn't think our focus was great. I thought we were really rusty, in that first half. We couldn't make a free throw, couldn't make a late. We were really rusty there. But I came in at halftime saying, we could have done much worse than that in terms of just our focus, and we're in good shape. We all right. We're in good shape, but we got to play better. We got a rebound. We was getting crushed on the glass at the half. We got crushed on the glass the whole game. That's kind of been our Achilles heel, and then, you couldn't make, some of our better scorers just couldn't make shots. That hurt us. So we had a lot working against us, but I thought we played hard. We gave ourselves a chance. We scrapped our butt off. Just didn't have enough, man.
A thriller in the Big Apple as the undermanned New York Knicks outlast the Chicago Bulls in overtime. Once again, Karl Anthony Towns posted a monster double-double, this time to lead NYC to a nail-biting 113-111 victory. Cat finished with a game-high 32 points to go with 18 rebounds and even scored 3 consecutive buckets in the extra period. The Knicks' backcourt also came to play with Miles McBride and Jalen Brunson combining for 45 markers. The Knicks overcame injuries to key players Josh Hart and OG Anunoby, but they had to survive a couple of close calls, even needing a game-saving block from Mikal Bridges at the end of regulation. Nikola Vucevic also missed an 8-footer that could have forced a second OT. New York has won 9 of its last 11 games and is the 3rd seed in the East with 37 victories and 18 defeats. Chicago is at 10th place with a 22-34 win-loss slate. In a post-game interview, McBride talked about getting his share of the spotlight on the big stage.
I think I heard him tonight. Yeah. Perfect. First off, all glory to God. Appreciate the fans coming out, man. We couldn't have done it without y'all.
Now, this game was certainly about getting the offense going, but it also put a lot of pressure on the defense. Big defensive plays at the end, right there. Also, Mikal Bridges, you had 3 blocks and 3 steals in this game as well. Just talk about what it took to get that defense going in this game.
I mean, we came together as a team. We wanted to come out of All-Star break and just make sure that we were setting the defensive tone first, and we came together and got the job done.
Now, you had to start in this game. The team has a couple of injuries, and it's always next man up mentality for this team. As you're now in the post-All-Star break stretch run, the focus is on the playoffs. What is now the focus with all these games coming up? Big one tomorrow against Cleveland and then Sunday in Boston.
Yeah, definitely taking it one day at a time. We're just pushing forward, making sure we can do everything just to stay together, stay in rhythm, and bring home one for New York.
6 more NBA games on tap tonight.
Here are the results. Peyton Pritchard torches the Philadelphia 76ers with 8 threes as the Boston Celtics cruise to a 124-104 win. The Indiana Pacers score a whopping 50 points in the second quarter alone to help them pull away from the Memphis Grizzlies 127-113. Donovan Mitchell leads the East-leading Cleveland Cavaliers to a 110-97 beating of the Brooklyn Nets.
Meanwhile, Paulo Banchero outduels Trae Young and the Orlando Magic's 114-108 dub over the Atlanta Hawks. And meanwhile, usual video game numbers here for the Joker, Nikola Jokic, as the Denver Nuggets roll to their 9th straight win, holding off the depleted Charlotte Hornets 129-115. And lastly, Giannis Antetokounmpo finally returns from Milwaukee and immediately leads the Bucks to a 116-110 victory over the LA Clippers.
Giannis may be back, but the Milwaukee Bucks just lost another key player. Forward Bobby Portis Jr. has been suspended 25 games without pay for violation of the NBA's anti-drug program. The league said Portis tested positive for the painkiller tramadol, which is a banned substance. Portis' agent says he took the painkiller unintentionally, mistaking it for Toradol, which is approved and something he has taken before. The 2021 NBA champion is the team's 4th leading scorer, averaging 13.7 points and 8.3 rebounds through 46 games. Portis won't be able to play again until April 9th in the 79th game of Milwaukee's 82-game schedule. The Bucks are currently 5th in the East with 30 wins and 24 losses. Coming up after last night's tough break, Gilas Pilipinas head coach Tim Cohn speaks out on their first loss against Chinese Taipei in over a decade. That story and more when Play-by-Play returns.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play, only on One News. Gilas Pilipinas head coach Tim Cohn owns up to the national team's tough loss to Chinese Taipei in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers last night. Cohn took to social media to address the defeat, saying, quote, "As you can see, no one feels worse about this devastating loss than I do, and I take full ownership of it." The winningest PBA coach says they too were surprised by how good Chinese Taipei has become since their last meetup in the first window. In another post, Cohn says the only thing that the team can do at this point is move on, vowing that he and the rest of the national team will be better. The game had no bearings though for Gilas since the team is already through to the main Asia Cup tournament. What the loss did though was tarnish the Filipinos' perfect record in the qualifiers as they tally their first loss in 5 games. Here's Cohn and some players talking about having targets on their backs after their recent success.
We were absolutely devastated. It was a game we felt we needed to win. We should have won. You know, anytime we play on the world stage, we need to bring our best game, and we just didn't do that. And it was really disappointing. But you know, there's not much we can do about it at this point. We got, you know, we got to finish this trip and try to finish it strong. We're going to play a tougher New Zealand team, and so somehow we're going to have to figure out a way to put this behind us and move forward. It's going to be very difficult, and we're going to really test the character of the players. But you know, that's what playing on the world stage is all about. You know, you're going to have these ups and downs, but again, you know, we just have to own this one. We feel devastated, and you know, we want to represent the country well, and we just did not do that last night.
We just got to take every experience that we have and try to, you know, just learn from it. Taipei is, you know, they was a really good team. They played us tough, and anytime you beat somebody by 50 points, you know, they gonna definitely want revenge. So I guess just learning how to play in, I guess, a way, you know, in tough environments, and just be ready. You know, teams are not going to come out and play their best game against us. And, you know, we had a lot of recent success, so, you know, teams know about that. And they just going to come put their best game and, you know, be very excited to play us. And we just got to be ready for it.
Going different countries, different time zones, but again, like I said before, it's all about being a professional, and that's what professional basketball players are supposed to do, is be able to play regardless of when and where. But yeah, you can definitely feel the fatigue a bit, but it's still no excuse. You know, I still expect myself to perform, and I know some of the other guys as well. I know they expect to perform well as well, regardless of the situation. So yeah, yun lang. I think it's a learning curve for us. It's something we're still getting used to, and I think we're going to improve the system of traveling and playing on the road a lot more with more experience that comes.
It's a tough trip for us, but it's what makes us better. And you know, we were winning a lot of games before, and now we're starting to lose. So it's humbling for us, and you know, it's not too good when you win too much. You get complacent. So it's good that we got humbled, and then before the Asia Cup, we'll know we got to prepare harder than this.
At the end of the day, I'm so, you know, grateful. I feel like we did put up a good fight in the end, you know, despite being down and everything going against us. And yeah, you know, hopefully we can still end on a high note as we play New Zealand and yeah, try to get that victory.
But we also had the bigger picture in mind, going to FIBA Asia, going to the Middle East to play, getting that feel, playing Middle Eastern teams. And, you know, we won't know whether that helps us or hurts us until we get there in August and try it. But our hope is that, you know, we got something out of this and it's going to help us in the big picture. But Right now, that doesn't make us feel any better. It doesn't make the players feel better. Right now, we don't feel good about ourselves. We don't, we feel like we failed the country, and we have to find a way to lift our spirits up, and get ready to move on into New Zealand.
And move on to New Zealand it is for Gilas Pilipinas as they travel to Auckland for their last game in the qualifiers. The match will take place at 10 in the morning Sunday Philippine time at the Spark Arena. The last time these two teams met was back in the second window in November when the Philippines ended an 8-year drought against the Tall Blacks. Gilas claimed a 93-89 win in front of a sold-out Pinoy crowd at the Mall of Asia Arena. This time, though, we will be without Kai Soto, who was a major factor in that win. Kai is currently recovering from an ACL injury that he suffered last month. You can watch the game live on PBA Rush, RPTV, and the Pilipinas Live app.
From the hardcore, let's move on to the Tara Flags as the Signal HD Spikers begin their bid for a three-peat with a dominant victory in the 2025 Spikers Turf Open Conference. The HD Spikers made quick work of the debuting team Alpha Insurance. Final score 25-15, 25-16, and 25-23. Even without their star Louis Ramirez, Signal cruised through the first two sets before grinding out a tight battle in the third. Philam spiker Steven Rotter stepped up with 11 points off 5 attacks, 4 aces, and 2 blocks. Jao Umandal, meanwhile, added 10 markers, 8 coming from spikes, along with 4 excellent receptions. While team captain JP Bugawan added 9 points, built on 6 attacks, 2 kill blocks, and a service ace.
The Crisscross King Crunchers also cruised to a sweep to start the Spikers Turf Open Conference. The straight sets win came at the expense of the VNS Letacrete Griffins. Final score 25-19, 25-12, and 25-22. Stepping into the lineup in place of Nico Almendras, Jaron Riquinton rose to the occasion to lead all scorers with 15 points on 12 attacks and 3 blocks. Riquinton also had 5 excellent receptions. Coming up, Filipino MMA fighter Joshua Pasio is now the undisputed one-strawweight MMA world champion. Find out how he won the belt when Play-by-Play returns. welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. Get ready for an action-packed weekend in UAAP Season 87 volleyball. Saturday kicks off with men's action as the USC Golden Spikers battle the UE Red Warriors at 9 a.m., followed by the women's match between the Golden Tigresses and Lady Warriors at 11 a.m. In the afternoon, LaSalle and Adamson take center stage, starting with a men's match at 3 p.m. Then, an exciting showdown between the Lady Spikers and Lady Falcons will close the day at 5 p.m. Saturday's games will take place at the Philoil Eco Oil Center in San Juan. Then, on Sunday, the games shift to the Mall of Asia Arena, beginning with a 10 a.m. men's matchup between the UP Fighting Maroons and Ateneo Blue Eagles. This will be followed by a juggernaut match between the NU Bulldogs and FEU Tamaraos at 12 noon. The rivalries continue in the women's division as UP takes on Ateneo at 2 p.m. The NU Lady Bulldogs and FEU Lady Tamaraos then wrap up the weekend at 4 p.m. You can catch all the games live on One Sports, UAAP Varsity Channel, and the Pilipinas Live app.
Onto the big screen, we have got an all-NBA lineup for you in tonight's highlight reel. Let's start off with the Celtics and the Sixers. Take a look at this. Miss first, tip, and it goes to Derek White. Off to the races are the Celtics. Tatum to fellow All-Star Jaylen Brown. Two-handed slam there. What a play on the break by the C's. JB finishing with 20 points as Boston cruises past Philly at Philly, 124-104. How about the Spurs and the Suns? No Wemby, no problem. Fox misses, rebounded by Bol. Tap, Bol gets it, but a pass, errant pass, stolen by Fox, off to Stephon Castle for the two-handed flush over the 7-footer. What a play here by the Spurs. Fox finding Castle for that slam swipe up finish with 26 points, 9 boards, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Meanwhile, Castle had 10 markers and 10 boards in this one, but they win at home without Wemby, 120-109. Lastly, we talked about him, 40-year-old. How is a 40-year-old still doing this? Take a look at LeBron James against Scoot Henderson, and then the up and under past Robert Williams. Take a look at this move by LeBron, sizing up Henderson, and then the dipsy-do. Woo! 40 points for the 40-year-old. Lakers back in a win column after taking down the Blazers, 110-102.
And before we go, Filipino MMA star Joshua Pasio is once again the king of One Championship's strawweight division. Pasio reclaimed the One Strawweight MMA world title after stopping Jared Brooks in the second round of their championship showdown at the Lusail Sports Arena in Doha, Qatar. The former champion had to survive a tough first round where Brooks nearly locked in multiple submission attempts. But in the second frame, Pasio turned the fight around, unloading a barrage of unanswered strikes that forced the referee to step in with just 38 seconds remaining. With a win, Pasio unified the strawweight championship and improved his record to 14 wins and 4 losses.
The passion, Joshua Pasio there. Congratulations to you, king of One Championship strawweight division. That's all from us tonight and the whole week. You can catch us again on Monday at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News. That's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night. Happy weekend.